I've had this bike for about 3 years now, and it's finally time to actually talk about it. It's a GasGas EC 300 from 2018, and I've converted it from an enduro bike to a fully maxed out supermoto. What's interesting with my bike is I've completely covered all of the areas with graphics. Of course, since I work at Raw Power Graphics, I have the ability to do it, and you know, I had to. So let's break it down and see what the total cost of this bike has been and if I think it was worth it or not. Let's start with the front. What I've changed and what I've done. First of all, I switched out my original headlight and front fender to a KTM front fender from 2017 and a headlight from the 2019 model, because I like that it's a lot more slick with the front fender than the previous one from 2017. I've also switched out my OEM headlight for a LED Prisma headlight from Raw Power Graphics, which I think looks really good. And the daytime light doesn't make justice for how bright this light actually is when the nightfall comes. It's so bright and I'm so happy with it. I switched out the handlebars for a Pro Taper Evo handlebar, which I personally like a lot more since the profile is a lot higher, you could say. I think this one is called exactly CR high, which is, I guess, some kind of higher profile or something for the handlebars. And to protect my head, because of course I'm riding as an MX biker, no, but I have a bar pad because I think it looks a lot better with than without. It just looks naked without it. Bar pad from 24MX, I think it's called a 20 bar pad. I'm also running a pair of underlaying rear view mirrors. I think these look a lot better than the OEM ones, and the police actually are fine with it here in Sweden. So I recommend it for people who like to see what's behind you and still want to stay legal when you ride. I haven't really done much regarding the clutch and my brake lever, but I am running a stunt brake on my bike, so I have an extra HC1 pump from Magura. I think it's a 13mm pump. I'm not 100% satisfied with it. I think I am going to upgrade to a Akasato brake, but it works in the meantime. And of course, to finish the front up, I am running with a pair of mini indicators, which look really good, I think. And I'm still staying legal when I ride without having those clumsy big ass indicators. For my front brake, I am running a Motomaster Supermoto 320 disc. I think it's a really good disc so far. I've heard some people having problems with it, but I've been running this disc for about 3 years, and so far I haven't had any problems with it. I think it works really good for stoppies, and it's a solid brake disc. For my forks, I haven't done really anything to them. I think I've stiffened them up a little bit, but so far I haven't really noticed anything because I'm not a try-hard supermoto rider, so it works for me. But what I have done is put on some fork graphics from Raw Power Graphics, which I think looks really good compared to the old rose gold color that you can see down here. And I think this matches up a lot better with the entirety of my bike. Tuning wise, I haven't done anything to my engine because it's a raw ass bike. It has 50... Okay, it has 50 horsepower OEM, so I haven't had any need to do anything to it. Only thing I have done, okay, it's two things actually. I've switched out the tubes from the carburetor, and I've also switched out the air screw and the idle screw, so it's easier to change both the idle and the air intake. However, one thing I have changed is my electrical starter. I think I bought one from like AliExpress or something, and it works so damn good. The original one is known for having problems and breaking down, but I think this one is for a KTM EXC 300, but if you switch the poles, it works super good for this bike, which is exactly what I've done. I am still running my OEM exhaust pipe. I do want to switch to a FMF patty, I think it is. It could be gnarly as well. I don't really know the difference. I just know that one is for top end and one is for low. But I'll get to that once I break this. But something I have changed is my silencer. I am running a Pro Circuit 304. I think this actually is from a Husqvarna at 250, which I bought from Marketplace for like 40 euros or something. So I didn't really spend much on it, but I did have to cut off a part of the pipe and make it a bit shorter to make it actually fit on my bike. But now it fits and it sounds amazing. For my wheels, I'm running SM Pro Platinum rims, and they are 17-inch Supermoto rims. They are blacked out with red hubs and red nipples. For my tires, I am running the Michelin Pilot 2 CT, I think they are called, something like that, which I've been running always on my Supermotos. I think they are really good tires. I get a really good feel with the asphalt, and I'm just really satisfied with it. They are on the expensive side though, so if you just want to make burnouts, I wouldn't really recommend these tires. I know there are a lot better tires for burnouts, just for getting a lot of smoke, which these aren't the best for. But if you're gonna ride Supermoto and do stunts, I would really recommend these. They are great. For my drive chain, I am running a 49 sprocket in the back and a 13-tooth sprocket in the front. With this combo, I think it maxes out at about 130 kilometers an hour, which isn't really that much. But for stunt riding, I feel like this drive chain is perfect since I can clutch it up in any gear. For my stunt brake, I am running a Brembo 2-piston caliper from a KTM EXC 2006, I think. It's a front brake, which I've just switched around, and I'm now using it as my stunt brake. The downside with having my bike is that it's not really common, so there are no real stunt brackets made for this bike. So I've had to make a custom stunt bracket for this brake caliper and for my specific bike. For my graphics, I'm of course running raw power graphics, and I've designed this kit entirely by myself. I think it took about 12 hours or something, since I've focused a lot on the details here. Okay, now hold your hat, because this is getting nerdy. I have a lot of sources of inspiration for my kit, and the first one is Star Wars. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, but you know Darth Maul from Star Wars? Yeah, that's kind of the base idea for the entire design. It's red and black, pretty much. And you have the yellow eye, which is the yellow Sith eye from Star Wars. My second source of inspiration is ancient Egypt gods, which is Seth. He is a Egyptian god of chaos, which I think is really cool since my name is also Seth. It might be kind of egotistical, but I find it really cool, so I wanted to include it in the kit. That's also why I have these kinds of runes in the kit, to enhance the feel of the ancient Egypt gods. And that's also why we have this scarab beetle from Egypt, to just enhance the overall feel, to have it like an Egyptian kind of style. And my third source of inspiration is Minecraft. It's nerdy, but I feel like I had to include it since we have runes, and Minecraft has the enchantment table language, so I actually have some Minecraft script inside of the graphics, as you can see here. The main idea was to make something that is really unique, stands out, and to have something that is really rough but still is clean in some kind of way. So that's why I went for this kind of look. Oh my god! Det blir skitbra.
Ja, jag är nöjd.
Boom, boom, boom. For the material, I chose holographic and red glitter. I think the red glitter works really well because it almost looks glossy if you look at it from far away, but if you look close, there is actually a lot of small red glitters all around. I have all of the matching parts you could possibly have. I have matching bar pad graphics, I have matching tank graphics, I have matching frame graphics and suspension and forks. I also have a fully wrapped exhaust graphics and also the 50/50 graphics. And let's not forget about the radiator graphics. They don't show up much, but I think they do their own part in the entirety. And I really enjoy that we've been starting to do the backside of the front fender, which you can see yourself when you are riding. And to finish it up, I'm running a full red one gripper with black ribs. The reason I went with black ribs is to match my rear fender where I have black logos, so it just continues up on the seat. And of course I also have the tail scraper big boy from Raw Power Graphics to make those awesome sparks. I did also create my own carbon parts for the tank, and if I were to do this build all over again, I probably would pay more attention and be more thorough when I made it, but I'm overall pretty satisfied with how it turned out. Pretty much covered everything about the build, but there's one detail I really love with the bike. I've put some red matching screws, which I think really enhances the build. I didn't like the OEM ones because they were rusted out, and in combination with my handlebars, I am running a pair of bar ends from Raw Power Graphics, which holds up really well if I actually fall. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the build, and the total cost of the bike comes down to, with the bike purchase being around 3,300 euros or something. The top expensive mod has probably been the rims, since they were really expensive. If I had another 500 euros to spend, I'd probably switch out my stunt brake pump or my exhaust to a FMF Fat. Was it worth it? I don't know, you tell me in the comments below. I think it was worth all the money I've put into it, because for me this has been a really nice adventure to build this bike and to get to ride it for 3 years in a row. If I only could keep one of the mods, I would probably keep either the graphics kit or my Pro Circuit. Without being biased, I give my bike a total score of 9.5, since there could possibly be a better Supermoto, I don't know. You tell me the total score, what you think this bike deserves. If you want to see this concept continue, comment below what bike you want to see me review. And if you want graphics just like these, you should go to rawpowergraphics.com. See you in the next one. Subscribe.